Near the village of Vishnupur, nestled between lush green fields and tall mountains, there was a small but peaceful village. In this village lived a boy named Rohan. He was hardworking, intelligent, and kind-hearted. But no matter how much he achieved, he never felt truly happy. Whenever he saw his friend Karan wearing new clothes, he thought, "I wish I had better clothes." When he saw his neighbor Sidar enjoying delicious food, he thought, "I wish I could eat like that." Even when he saw birds flying freely in the sky, he sighed, "I wish I had wings to fly." His mind was always occupied with thoughts of what he didn't have. Instead of enjoying the small joys in life, he focused on what was missing. This made him restless, unsatisfied, and always wanting more. One day, Rohan's father gifted him a beautiful wooden box. "This is for you, my son," he said with a smile. Rohan eagerly opened the box, expecting something valuable inside, but he found it empty. Confused, he asked, "Father, why did you give me an empty box?" His father smiled and replied, "Think of this box as your heart. If you fill it with gratitude, it will feel full. But if you always look for more, it will remain empty no matter what you put inside." Rohan did not understand his father's words at that time, but he kept the box with him, hoping he would one day realize its meaning. A few days later, a wise saint visited the village. The villagers gathered to listen to his teachings, and Rohan, curious to find a way to be happy, approached him. "Gurudev," he said respectfully, "I have everything, food, family, friends, but still, I don't feel happy. No matter what I get, I always want more. Why do I feel this way?" The saint smiled and said, "Come with me to the forest tomorrow morning and you will find your answer." The next morning, Rohan met the saint near the edge of the forest. The saint was holding 2 empty clay jars. He handed one to Rohan and said, "Go to the river and fill this with water." Rohan did as he was told, but as soon as he lifted the jar, he noticed something strange. The water was leaking through small cracks in the jar. He tried to carry it carefully, but by the time he reached back to the saint, most of the water had escaped. The saint then handed him the second jar, which was perfectly sealed. "Now fill this one," he instructed. Rohan returned to the river and filled the second jar. This time, when he carried it back, the water remained inside. The saint looked at him and asked, "Which jar will keep the water for longer?" "The second one, of course," Rohan replied. The saint smiled and said, "Think of water as happiness and the jars as your heart. A heart full of complaints and dissatisfaction is like the cracked jar. It can never hold happiness for long. But a heart filled with gratitude is like the unbroken jar. It keeps happiness safe and secure." Rohan stood silently, absorbing the lesson. "Gurudev, are you saying that my heart has cracks because I always focus on what I don't have?" The saint nodded. "Every time you complain, every time you desire more without appreciating what you already have, you create a crack in your heart. That's why happiness never stays with you for long." Rohan thought deeply. He realized that even when he received something new, his joy was always temporary. Soon he would find something else to wish for, and the cycle would continue. "But how do I fix these cracks?" he asked. The saint picked up a handful of sand and let it slip through his fingers. "The only way to fill these cracks is with gratitude. Start appreciating what you have. When you eat a meal, be thankful for the food. When you wear clothes, be grateful for the warmth they give you. When you wake up in the morning, thank the universe for another day." Rohan listened carefully. He realized he had spent his whole life looking at what he lacked, instead of valuing what he had. From that day on, Rohan started practicing gratitude. Instead of wishing for a bigger house, he appreciated the comfort of his small home. Instead of envying others' success, he focused on his own progress. Every morning, he began his day by thinking of 3 things he was grateful for. At night, before sleeping, he reminded himself of the good moments in his day. Slowly, his heart started to feel full, just like the unbroken jar. Years later, Rohan became a great teacher in his village, helping others find happiness through gratitude. Whenever someone asked him the secret to a joyful life, he would smile and say, "Happiness doesn't come from having more, but from appreciating what you already have." A grateful heart never runs empty.